This is where the fun begins.
But we've seen this movie before.
What's Sam Pittman known for?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Is the Arkansas athletic program cursed? But you never know what the loudest mouth on the fan base and his wild band of misfits are going to say.
I have a river of Kool-Aid for basketball.
It's time to step inside the Hog Pen with your hosts, Razorback Zach and Marcus MC Carlton.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into an all-new episode of Inside the Hawg Pen. That's right. Don't adjust your settings. Your boy is back. Or as my boy Randy Orton says, Daddy's back. But welcome Inside the Hawg Pen, everybody. Hope everybody had a great week. These storms that just rolled through are wild, man. MC, I don't think they've reached you just yet.
No, nothing's here yet. It's been looking like all day it could open up at any point, but it never has.
Yeah, the wind kind of like turned some trees sideways. I know Russellville got hit pretty bad, but hope everybody had a great week. I'm glad to be back in the new and improved Hog Pen. Been out a couple weeks. Big thank you to MC and D-Man for holding it down. And sorry, D-Man, to kick you to the curb, but I'm back. Hope everybody's checking out the final jump shot, MC. You got some things brewing over there. So tell me a little bit about it. You got episode 4 coming out. Now you're teasing episode 5 of the interview you just gave.
Yeah, actually, the interview that I was teasing is going to be episode 6. Episode 5 is going to drop Friday morning, and it's done in the can, ready to roll. It's back in the conference, the basketball conference that I grew up in, the old 2B East, which we're focusing mainly on Class B schools because they were the ones that got consolidated. Right. But this is one of my conference foes from back in the day, the Lynn Lions, and it's a good story, man. There's some pieces in here. I know this guy pretty well. He's a little older than me. I didn't play against him, but I remember watching him play. And he got some new perspective on some stories that I knew from his time playing, and it's going to be a good one. So it'll hit Friday morning. Every podcast provider you can think of, I've put it pretty much everywhere podcasts are available. It'll be on the Final Jump Shot Facebook page. It'll be on the Cam Productions YouTube page, and then anywhere you get podcasts, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Pandora, everywhere. So be looking for it Friday morning.
If you guys want in on the action, leave us a question or comment in the Cam Productions live fan feedback. Also, Friday morning. I'm used to being this on Thursday and this one Wednesday. Yeah. I changed it while I was gone, so I'm having to catch up here.
Hey, blame the baseball team, man. They've started playing on Thursday nights, and we don't want to go head-to-head with them. So
even though,
unless we were pitching and they were trying to hit, and then it might be okay.
Then it might be okay. We'll get into more of that later, though, but y'all check out 101.1 FM, The Answer, ITHP on the radio. 10 a.m. 501-823-0965 will get you on the air. I want to hear your thoughts about all things Razorbacks. So tune into that. It'll be live streaming. I know we had some technical difficulties last week, but it will be up on Facebook and on our Facebook page as well. So 101.1 FM, The Answer, 10 o'clock, Inside the Hog Pen on the radio. Okay, so I have waited 9 years to make this announcement. I've waited 9 years to say this. Coming soon. Very, 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 and I'm like, very soon. ITHP finally is launching their merchandise line. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's going to be good, man. I've seen got a little sneak peek on some of the designs, and I think everybody's going to like those.
I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm going to get me a Louder shirt just because just do me a favor. Don't post my face on it, please. Just don't. All right.
I might have been working on a little something along those lines in the lab. I like to say.
Y'all have no idea how terrified I am right now.
That was a good idea, Zach. I'm glad I'm gonna write that down.
Oh crap! Me and my big mouth, damn it! I swear. All right, so let's
louder.
Wow! I come back, not even back in the show for 5 minutes. I'm already getting burned. It's not fair. All right, so let's jump into this, and I got a lot to say about this, but we're going to be talking about the Queens of Bogle Park here in just a few minutes, but I got to get something off my chest now. What in the hell is going on with the Razorback baseball team? We were doing so well, but here's the thing, and I'm going to say this with Dylan in right here with me. The season ain't over yet.
You're already making Carolyn mad.
She
jumps in and says, "Don't start whining."
Don't whine. Like what kind? Red, blush, white?
Boone's Farm? What?
Boone's Farm. You go old school there, ain't you? Dang.
Okay.
Team is fine.
All right. So, okay. Wait a minute, Carolyn. You got to defend yourself here. Tell me why you think the baseball team is fine. Absolutely fine. We're not talking about how they look. We're talking about how they're playing right now. So tell me why you think that that everything's okay.
Fine.
So because I would have to wholeheartedly disagree right now.
Yeah, I would too. Because here's the thing, man. Arkansas baseball has perennially been in the conversation to host. They've been in the top 5. They've been in the top 4. Hell, we've been number 1. Now, granted, I'll tell you right now, I don't want to be number 1. I don't want to be number 1 at all until the end of the season when we're the last team standing.
I hope Chris Lanzelli's not watching because he would take you to task over that because he had some comments about that last week that he was on about the fans being afraid of the number 1 ranking. So
look at and again, he wore the uniform. He knows
right.
DH. He knows that fear. Look, I will concede to him, but as a fan,
yeah,
in our history being number 1, I do not want it. I don't.
Well, and I think, we talked a little bit about it, and I think it was more of the fact the fans have a lot of PTSD. The players are better about, wiping their memory, coming back fresh. We fans, we don't do that. We have the flashbacks of every sport, not just baseball, but every sport where we've said University of Almost, Hog gonna Hog, Arkansas gonna Arkansas, all that, it all comes back. And when things are good, we are so jaded. And I say we because I'm the same way. Okay. I'm the same way, but we are so jaded that we think when things are going good, we're like, okay, how are we going to screw it up? What's going to happen?
Okay. I got to put this up here.
Okay.
Right. Well, okay. So it's a paragraph. So we're going to put it up there for everybody to read, and I'm going to take it off and read it. All right. She says, because every team has dips, they were putting up video game numbers with on-base percentage. We just need to keep putting bat to ball and clean up the ERA a little bit. But I still think we are built for the postseason. And if you think I'm wrong, look at what Vegas has for winning it all.
Hey, I hope you're right. I hope that I have to come on here and eat crow, and they make a deep run into Omaha. But to me, this feels very much like what's happened the last 2 years in the regional. It feels like it's the same exact scenario happening. It's just happening a little bit earlier this year.
Well, but at the same time, okay, first off, Nolan Souza going down was the worst thing that could have happened.
That was not good.
That wasn't good. Now you have
Carson Wiggins,
which, again, I'd like to take a minute and say I called that when he started throwing consecutively at 100 miles an hour.
He's throwing like 114 miles an hour, and suddenly he's having elbow trouble. So
he's throwing like a damn NASCAR driver speed, man.
Yeah, he was, I don't know, man. Hopefully, they said he's going to go for more testing on his elbow. I am terrified. And this is that PTSD of Razorback fans that I'm talking about here. I'm terrified that we're going to come back and it's going to have, I don't want to say it, but he'll have something wrong with his arm that is 2 first names. One starts with a T and the other one starts with a K.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
That's what I'm afraid of. So you got him. He's gone down. Parker Coyle is still down. But I will say this. Eric Jernigan has a good point here. Gage Wood looked very good the other day. He looked like Gage Wood. And it was nice to see him. They held him to 40 pitches. He did 2 innings, no runs, 1 hit, and 4-5 strikeouts, something like that. So it was nice to see him kind of get his groove back.
Well, and the second half of his comment, looking for his pitch count to go up with Parker Coyle out and Wiggs out. Look, it's going to have to happen. See, here's the thing, and I heard this on the radio the other day, that you want your starters to go deep in a game. Back in, last year before, deep in the game means like middle 7th inning, 7th inning, mid 7th,
right?
That kind of thing. Now with the staff being so deep, now you're looking at it being 5th inning, 6th inning, that kind of, you're backing it up a little bit because the pitching staff is deep. I mean, Mackey's coming out of the damn bullpen now. Yeah.
And Carolyn's got one more good point I want to get to, and then I want to bring D-Matt in because he's got something good on the two first names that we didn't want to say. Let me get back to comments. Sorry, I was in the wrong screen. So Carolyn comes back. She's standing on business, man. I like it. She's sticking with a point. She says the fact that the slump or the downfall, whatever the dip, as she called it, is happening earlier is why it's good. The momentum will swing back. Gage Wood looked terrible against A&M and then stellar against Florida. Okay. All right.
Now,
I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
I haven't seen JP in a while, but he even said, can't think of his name, but the new lefty looks good. Was that
Jimenez? Aiden Jimenez.
Aiden Jimenez. He looked good, but he's got to be consistent.
He's the transfer from that ugly orange and brown and black team from out west that we don't like to talk about. They have beavers as their mascot, but
hey, whoa, that still hurts.
So yeah, no doubt. But
wait, hold on.
Can they come out the other side of it? That's what is remaining to be seen. And the other thing that we haven't talked about that has contributed to kind of their dip, I'm just going to go with that word that Carolyn had, the dip. If you look at the level of competition, we're playing the top of the conference.
Right.
It started with Georgia, and then A&M was preseason number 1. They hit their dip way early, and suddenly they decided to start playing like a number 1 team about the time they came to bomb. Yeah. And then, last weekend.
Real quick, MC, let's go to D-Mad. D-Mad's got something on, I'm going to go ahead and say it, probably the bad look here. Tommy John.
So going back to Tommy Johns, they used to be the death sentence of a pitcher.
Yes.
But it's kind of like the ACL in football,
Mm-hmm.
But in recent years, in the past 10 years, there have been people that have Tommy Johns that come back throwing even better than they were before they had Tommy John. Not harder.
I have the perfect example of that.
Who was that?
Kevin Copps.
Yeah, Copps.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
there's a.
Go ahead, MC, or go ahead, D-Matt. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, there's a lot of Tommy Johns that are happening nowadays.
Yeah.
That are, you got people coming back, and it's just they're throwing the lights out of the arena at that point. And then we have, what, I'll let y'all have that, but I was going to say tip of the cap to Aiden Jimenez too, because he's been shoving.
Yeah, Jimenez is he's been the most money guy we've had coming out of the bullpen.
Oh yeah,
so here's a question. The lineup for the pitching lineup for this weekend is obviously Zach Root on. It would be Thursday night this week. Gage Wood is getting the start on Saturday or on Friday as the number 2 spot. The number 3 spot is TBA. Might we see Aiden Jimenez in that 3rd spot?
Yes. Or
do you go Willie Mack?
God, I hope not. I hope that Jimenez is used for late game situations.
I was going to say Jimenez needs to come out of the pen. Not much.
I like him coming out of the pen.
Not as a closer or a saver, but one of those, the mid game type.
The mid relief, top guy that can, if your starter is only going to go 4 innings, you bring Jimenez in, he goes 5, 6, 7, and then you bring your closer in for 8 and 9. I like Jimenez in the role he's in. Does Gackle maybe move back to that 3rd spot?
I'm not sold on Gackle yet.
I mean, he's looked better coming out of the pen. I feel like there's a comfort level with him coming out of the pen that we hadn't seen with him as a starter. I don't know. I mean, it's we can't rule out the fact that, and I'm going to butcher this name, Bottle Cheese. There's Carolyn calls him Beetlejuice. I'm just going to go with Beetlejuice because that's easier to say.
No, the thing about it though, if you got to look at it this way though, okay. If Mackey comes out of I'm going to call him Mackey. If Willie Mack comes out of the pen, okay, you still have Gackle. I just don't see him as a starter yet.
I don't want him as a starter. I would rather see him doing what he's doing right now.
So who would you put?
Well, I'm pulling up the roster right now, looking through. I think you've got Gackle there. We talked a little bit about him. Maybe a Ben Bybee, and with the understanding that he's not going to give you more than 3, maybe 4 innings. So maybe you go Bybee and then Willie Mack, and then maybe try to finish up with Fouch or Jimenez. I don't know. Parker Coyle is not going to be back until the Tennessee series. That's when they're eyeing for him to come back, based on what I heard in an interview with Dave Van Horn. I think
Gibbler.
Yeah, Gibbler's out there too, but I think he's also one of those. I don't know that you want to throw him to the fire right now. I think you want to put him, kind of coming out of the bullpen. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. And also let's take this into consideration too. That TBA spot it's Saturday this weekend, but that third spot that's TBA, I think it also depends on what happens in the first 2 games. If the first 2 games split, then I think you may see Hobbs and Dave Van Horn look to one of their older guys like a Willie Mack or like a Ben Bybee. But if it's 2-0, I mean, throw somebody out there. You got nothing to lose at that point.
Carolyn's on it this week. He says also with no midweek, it could be McGuire.
That's a great point.
McGuire's not bad either.
That's a great point. And if it ends up being somebody like McGuire or Bybee or even Gibbler, let's say you got to figure those guys are going to go 3, maybe 4 innings, and then it's going to be Johnny Bullpen after that.
Yeah, but again, it's frustrating, MC.
I have concerns. I mean, I love the confidence that Carolyn has to say, hey, everything's going to be all right. We're going to be just fine. I did hear a comment on the radio the other day, and I don't really like these kind of comparisons in baseball because I don't feel like that they fit as well as they do in other sports. But the 2018 team,
right?
Did you? And I had forgotten this. You realize they went into the postseason not having won a single SEC series on the road that year.
Yeah,
I had forgotten that.
If you're going to use that, if you're going to take that, let me one up you to the 2022 team. They never lost an SEC series.
Yeah,
and they won. I think that was the year they won the SEC tournament, isn't it?
21, yeah. With
the 2022.
Well, 22 was the College World Series run that went through Oklahoma State. And
wasn't that the same year?
21 was the year that they did not lose an SEC series and won the SEC tournament and all that, and then got upset in the Supers by North Carolina State because, unfortunately, I was there and had to see that in person. It's still, I mean, the atmosphere was out of this world,
right?
But
all right,
anyway.
We can go on this all night, but we got to step away on the other side of the break. It's the Queens of Bogle Park. You're listening to Inside the Hawg Pen. Back right after this.
Meeks Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Meeks Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Meeks Design.
Hey, Hog fanatics. We at Inside the Hawg Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share SeatGeek as a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not so good deal. As a special offer, Hog fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code INSIDEHOGPEN. Check out our socials for the link, and remember to use the code INSIDEHOGPEN.
It's time to step back inside the Hog Pen to the Meeks Design Studios.
All right, welcome back to Inside the Hog Pen. Okay, so I'm going to be up front and say that I have kind of failed at watching the softball team. I've caught a couple of games. But I am not proficient in most of what's going on in softball. So I'm going to say that right out front, just in case I butcher something. Just kind of CYA, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I got to say, though, number 2 in the country, highest ranked in program history. I mean, can we make it to Oklahoma City?
I mean, right now you would have to think as long as they don't have to match up with Oklahoma somewhere along the path, which, depending on where you're ranked, it's just like on the baseball side, your top 8 seeds, they end up playing each other in the supers. And if you can avoid that, just stay out of the position where you have to match up with Oklahoma before you get to Oklahoma City. I think you'll be okay. And that's me not knowing anything other than just looking at the rankings, because I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be a softball fan, because I have not watched a single inning all year long, and shame on me for that. But, between my boys doing baseball and everything else, something's got to give.
Right. So with so much going on, I want to go ahead and warn you guys, we are going to be doing there's my kid, by the way, an extended edition tonight, because there's so much to talk about. Hope that's okay with you guys. But listen to this: 36-10, coming off their highest ranked series and program win in program history, at number 1, number 2, depending on the poll you're listening to or watching. Texas A&M last weekend won the first 2 games by a score of 7-5 and 7-4, securing their 5th straight win in SEC play. Now look here. Bogle Park needs to be packed out. And I mean packed out.
Yep.
All right. I was supposed to go to a softball game during the red-white game and all of that last weekend, 2 weeks ago, somewhere there?
2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah.
And, Mother Nature in Arkansas, doing its thing.
Yeah. Weather in Arkansas in April is just not something you want to try to predict at all.
Yeah.
While we're on the softball topic, I have a squirrel moment that I have to get out here. In the break, I was scrolling through Facebook and Twitter and social media, and I got to throw a shout out to the Westside Lady Warriors. They captured the 4A3 softball district crown this afternoon over their arch nemesis of the Bearcats of Brooklyn. And it's kind of like when Arkansas beats Texas. Anytime Westside can beat Brooklyn, it's always a good thing. So shout out Lady Warriors from Westside. Proud of you girls for going in and taking care of business today.
I'm gonna go ahead and put this up here. I'm a really rusty. I didn't realize how rusty I was, MC. Dadgum. All right, my computer's doing something. There we go. Crazy Child, a.k.a. my daughter Chloe, says, speaking of softball, Bigelow softball made it to the regional tournaments. Hey, congratulations, Bigelow.
Congratulations to them.
She says, can people quit making Mother Nature mad? I would not like to deal with storms right now. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm looking for Father Time to come get his woman here, Mother Nature, because she's been acting a fool recently.
Yeah, it is crazy out there. But no, we got to. But see, if you're going to talk about the softball team, okay, you have to talk about the anomaly. Say it with me, D. Anomaly. Bri Ellis. Listen to this, dude. Listen to this. She's got a slugging percentage of 1.28 or 1.218. She has an on-base percentage of 645. She's batting 491 in SEC play.
That's ridiculous.
Do you realize, my friend, she has a better batting average than most of the baseball team.
Well, not only that, but she's getting the Barry Bonds treatment to where she's just, everybody's chickening out and nobody wants to face her, and they're holding up 4 fingers and putting her on first now too. So she's having to deal with all that.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, why are they scared to pitch to her? Just
because she hits dingers. Yeah. That's why.
But I mean, they're gonna walk her. But continuing on these stats. All right, listen to this: 24 home runs, which is almost a record for her. All right, 65 RBIs, 46 walks, and just 11 strikeouts, posting an OBP of 645. Her OPS is 1876, on pace to be the highest single season mark nationally by a D1 player since the stat was first tracked in 2016. Jocelyn Alo of Oklahoma holds the season record of 1759, which was set in 2022. I'm getting all this from the game notes on ArkansasRazorbacks.com, by the way. Ellis is currently on a 22-game reached base streak, which is tied for 6th longest in program history. Now, on top of all of that, you have, I'm going to butcher this last name. Somebody please help me. Reese Berline threw the third perfect game in program history in an 8-0 win over Colorado State on the 18th. Third perfect game. Tell me these girls ain't going to, tell me these women are not going to make it to freaking Oklahoma City. Somebody tell me they're not going to.
Baseball and softball are funny games, man. They're just funny games. The momentum can turn on a dime, and you never know what's going to happen. I would love to see these ladies get a shot in Oklahoma City. Carolyn had a comment somewhere earlier right here. We called them the Queens of Bogle. She says, and those girls are queens playing lights out. Just hope they haven't peaked too soon. So we've got one team we're worried about peaking too soon. We've got the other team that we're, I'm over here with the crash cart ready to tell everybody to clear so I can shock them and see if it'll help. And then the other team we have concerns that they might have peaked too soon. So we can't find the happy medium. That's the way it is with Arkansas. It's feast or famine.
Look, we're the University of Arkansas. Okay. We're the University of Arkansas. All right. Let's be real. There is no happy medium.
No, there's not. We are either on the highest of highs or the lowest of lows, because that's just how Arkansas fans roll.
But one has to wonder, okay? And I'll be the first to say it. One's got to wonder where this team, the softball team, would be without Bri Ellis.
Man.
I mean, she is up there in the realm of
that's kind of like asking where the football team would have been if DMAC wasn't there.
Oh, I don't even want to think about that. I
think that's a fair comparison.
It is a fair comparison, but I don't want to think about it. No. No, not even a little bit. Okay, my daughter may have just won comment of the night. My own daughter may have just won comment of the night. That is great.
That could not be more spot on. That is like absolutely beautiful.
That is my daughter, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
The moment the U of A has a happy medium is the moment the apocalypse begins.
Yeah. Hammer meets nail right there.
Which, by the way, for those of you that are wondering, the painting of our logo right here was hand painted by my daughter, by the way. So shout out Chloe for that. Thank you very much, kiddo. But I've got to remember that. I'm going to be saying that Friday morning.
That's pretty good.
God, that is great. But no, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, though, she Danielle Gibson is who I was thinking of. She's up there in the realms of Danny Gibson, Gibby, who, by the way, I think is on staff at Arkansas.
I think so. I think I saw that.
But I mean, Robin Herron, 15-4 with a team best 2.25 ERA, and she's a junior. 109 innings pitched, and her limiting opposing hitters to 0.178. That is unfreaking believable. Like, come on, Hogs. Just don't choke in the regionals. Don't do it. Just don't. Just don't. Hey, we're going to step away for a 30-second break. We are going to catch our breath, and then MC and I are going to dive into something that happened this week known as Act 839. And this could be.
Ooh. I'm gonna get my soapbox while we're in this commercial break real quick.
This could be a game changer. You're listening to Inside the Hog Pen. Back right after this.
Attention Razorback fans and local businesses. Are you ready to reach the most passionate Arkansas sports fans?
Okay,
Not sure what happened there. All right. Not sure what happened there. We had a little technical difficulty. So we'll have to see what's going on with that and see if we can't fix it.
I'm not the only one that's rusty. Wow. All right.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
I don't know, but the thing was only 5 seconds.
Yeah, I think that's called a corrupt upload. I think is what that's called.
Touching the board, Zach.
I didn't do it. This was not me. Okay. This is not okay. All right.
No, I have to take the credit for that one because I was the one that actually kind of uploaded it. So
hey, MC, that video and that ad break kind of fell apart faster than Shedeur Sanders' draft stock.
Very true.
I mean,
very true.
That fell apart quick. All right.
Let's hope that Arkansas's baseball postseason chances don't look like that ad.
Right. All right. So now that the ad, it kind of rolls right into what we're about to talk about. So everybody knows the ongoing saga of the NIL. If you're not NIL, for those of you that don't know, stands for name, image, and likeness. It has gotten completely out of hand. And I'm gonna get up on my soapbox right next to MC, and there have been some people that have said that we need to back off of going after these players for breaking these contracts. I don't think so. I look and D-Mad, go ahead and help me out here with these names. Ilama, the two brothers.
I'm gonna leave you. That's what I'm calling.
I'm gonna take my money and run. They
Iamaliava.
We don't even give a damn about what their name is anymore. He wasn't even gonna play.
I had a Tennessee fan teach me how to say his name. It's Iamaliava.
I still like I'm gonna leave you.
I like I'm gonna leave you too. But here's the thing: for those of you that don't know or been living under a rock, I'm gonna leave you, little brother. Transfers in January from UCLA to Arkansas. Spends a few months
because he went through spring ball
learning under Bobby P. And
Taylor Green and pretty much everybody else on the offensive side of the ball.
Transfers out. Now, guess where he transferred out of?
Yeah, he went back to play with Big Brother.
Back to UCLA.
Yeah.
So now the University of Arkansas, I'm not going to say the University of Arkansas. It's the Arkansas Edge. It's the NIL cooperative, or what do they call it? NIL
collective.
Hey, Zach, I'm going to correct you on something just real quick. Madden never transferred from UCLA. He was committed to UCLA, and then he flipped his commitment.
That's right, because he was a freshman. Yeah.
He never stepped foot on UCLA's campus until his brother did.
I stand corrected then. I stand corrected then. I had read an article where it said that he had transferred in from UCLA. So I'm mistaken. I'm just a fan like y'all. So don't hold it against me. But anyway, I wholeheartedly believe that, and I cannot believe I'm going to say this with a straight face. I wholeheartedly believe that Arkansas and Tennessee should team up and be the front runners of a change in the NIL. It has to happen.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of athletic departments and collectives around the country watching this Arkansas lawsuit very closely. And secretly, they're not going to say it publicly, but secretly they're rooting for Arkansas to win because the pendulum swung way too far in favor of the players to where they had all the power and the coaches, the schools had no power. There's got to be, and here's this term again, a happy medium to where both sides, a compromise. It's almost like a marriage. You've got to have a little bit of a compromise here. And I think if Arkansas is successful in getting some of this buyout money back, then I think you're going to see other schools start to pursue this, because what are we teaching these kids if they go in and they sign a contract and then they don't honor the contract? I mean, yes, give them their money, fine, whatever. Going to give them their money. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. But if they go in and the contract is not worth the paper it's written on, then what good is that doing anyone? And a lot of people are saying that it could affect Arkansas negatively in recruiting by going after this. Okay, well, I counter that with what's going to look worse: trying to recoup the money that you are legitimately owed from a legally executed contract, or is it going to be worse to just let him take the money and run, and you look weak because you wouldn't stand up to an incoming freshman who violated a legal standing executed contract? So which one looks worse?
I mean, I'm all for going after these kids, because here's the thing. All right, and I was talking to my dad about this the other day, that when this bill came out, there's no loyalty to programs anymore. 20, 30 years ago, in the late 90s, early
10 years ago, you could go 10 years ago with it.
I mean, you can, but 10 years ago, you were looking at the beginning of the end of college athletics.
No, I would agree that.
You knew it was coming.
Yeah.
You knew it was coming 10 years ago. It was on the horizon. But what we have now is basically the true NFL developmental league, where
without the guidelines around contracts and tampering and buyouts and all that, because you have nothing right now. You just have Wild West,
and there's no regulation. There's nothing. And that's why some of these kids are coming back and making millions of dollars, not thousands, not hundreds of that, millions of dollars. Look, did you see some of the rookie contracts in the NFL?
Yeah.
If you came back a year, you'd make more money in college.
Well, and that's why you're seeing some of these guys playing at 5 different schools in 5 years, because they can make more money off of NIL than they would on a practice squad for the NFL. And some of these guys that are really good college players, that's where they're going to end up. They're going to end up as a practice squad guy, that doesn't even get to dress out on Sundays. You work hard, you get beat up all week long in practice, and then you're done for the week. So why not come back instead of making, what is it? I think it's like $200,000, $300,000, something like that you get for being on practice squad. Why do that when you could come back to school or transfer to a new school and make double, maybe even triple that?
I mean, look, Brock Purdy and his rookie contract. I don't think he's a rookie anymore. I don't think he's under his rookie contract now. His rookie contract, wasn't he Mr. Irrelevant?
Yes.
Okay. $850,000, and he took the Niners to took Niners to the Super Bowl. Arch Manning never played a down of football at the University of Texas. Made $2.2 million that same year.
I saw this on X right before we went live. The rumor, the estimate. We'll go with the estimate. The estimate of Texas Longhorn football NIL budget for this coming year is between 35 and 40 million.
So let's jump into this bill that just came through the Arkansas legislature. Basically, it is eliminating state sales tax on NIL contributions from the university itself. Only from the university. Here's the problem. And MC, you and I talked about this the other day.
There's a bunch of problems with it, but go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me just start off with the obvious one. And you can write all the bills and write all the legislative crap you want. No offense to anybody who's in legislature. I know I'm going to get a certain phone call here in the wall. It's not going to fix the issue if you can't recruit players.
Well, so, okay.
It's just my opinion anyway.
When news broke of this, I guess it was maybe Monday when all of this started coming out. I'd have to go back and look at my Twitter to see when I started throwing my little fit about it. There was immediately pushback, I guess is a good way to put it, from fans on this, because, we're being nickeled and dimed to death. We're being told constantly by Hunter Yurchek and by Arkansas Edge that, hey, we need more money. If you guys want us to be as good as you think we should be, we need more money. We need more money. We need more money. And then on top of that, you come in, and I've got several issues with this bill. First off, you're eliminating state sales tax for the athletes that are being paid by the university. Okay, nobody's being paid by the university right now. This is all hinging on the House versus NCAA court case that everybody thinks is going to be upheld, which is going to open the floodgates for the revenue sharing. So
and
essentially,
when does that take effect? That takes effect
July.
Yeah,
it's in July. It's early July, I believe. So essentially, you're going to have athletes being paid out of the same coffers at the university that university employees are being paid out of. But these athletes are not going to have to pay state sales tax, but the regular employees, like your staffers and all the way down to your student workers, staff, faculty, student workers.
GAs?
Yes, GAs, everybody that's paid by the university that is not an athlete is still going to have to pay state sales tax.
Okay, wait. Hold on, MC.
Okay.
I thought at the beginning of all this, I thought the universities couldn't get involved, and that's why they had to create the collective.
That's exactly right. But that was before this court case. That court case of House versus NCAA had not been decided at that point. There was a ruling that went against the NCAA. They have appealed it all the way up to SCOTUS, Supreme Court. And my understanding is Supreme Court is going to rule on it early to midsummer, which that's why everyone is preparing for the revenue sharing deal that we've been hearing about, because they're, any incoming revenue that comes in off of TV contracts or whatever, they're going to have to share that with the with the athletes now. Basically, they're essentially going to be employees, but they're going to be employees that are exempt from state sales tax. Now, here's the other issue with this. And this is the piece of it that not many people are talking about with this HB 1917, which technically now it's Act 839 because it has been signed into law by Governor Huckabee. Not only are the athletes going to be paid directly by the university, but the amounts of those payments are exempt from FOI.
Oh,
meaning you can't search it. It's completely private.
No.
Like, I work for a university. You could go and FOI my salary because I'm a staff. I'm considered staff at a university. So if you try to FOI, let's say Billy Richmond, okay, and I'm just using him because he's the first one that came to mind. Billy Richmond is in a promotional video for the University of Arkansas. University of Arkansas pays him for his NIL being in that video. They could pay him any amount and nobody publicly is going to know it, even though it is being paid for with university funds. That I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
We have a term for this in the political arena. It's called dark money.
Yes.
Look at Mr. Political Science popping in.
Well, and then
he's absolutely right.
That's exactly what it is.
But I don't like the fact that you can't. I was almost going to say subpoena it. Essentially, that's what you're.
That's essentially what it's a citizen subpoena, basically.
I didn't know. Let me jump over here to some of these comments real quick because the comments are piling up over in the Cam Productions live fan feedback. Justin Parker's negative. Ghost Rider, go after him.
Yeah, I agree. Go after him.
The fan base is, and again, we'll talk about the fan base here in a second. Carolyn says, nope, they want to treat it like a business. If I left my job before my commitment was completed, and I can promise you they would sue me to pay back my signing bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you'd have to, you have to buy your way out of the contract. Yeah.
Here's a big question that kind of stems off of that. If Arkansas decided to not pay Madden Iamaleava and had him play the entire year next year, but said, you didn't perform where we wanted you, we're going to pay you this much. Well, do you think he would not turn around and sue the university?
Yeah.
This isn't a one-sided issue. This is a both sides issue. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I mean, but that's the thing is you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And here we go. Eric Jernigan says, a contract.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. I mean,
Carolyn says, I don't want players who wouldn't come here for holding him to his contract. I mean, essentially, college football, college athletics as a whole now is a business. And they need to be treated like employees.
And can we finally stop with the fairy tale of a student athlete? I mean, these are employees now. They're athletes that are being paid to represent the university.
I hate that term nowadays with the amount of money. Here's the thing: some of these 18, and we'll even go 17 because Ryan Williams out at Alabama, 17, 18, 19-year-old kids, they got more money than I will ever see. And I'm almost 40. Yeah.
I got one more thing I want to say on this bill, and then we can get back to comments or move on or whatever. But one of the main sponsors on this bill, Matthew Shepard from El Dorado, he's a former Arkansas Speaker of the House. He's one of the main sponsors on this bill. He was on the radio the other morning on a statewide radio show up in the northwest corner of the state. And he was talking about this bill, and he said it was to help Arkansas become competitive with states like Tennessee and Texas, and I think Louisiana, states that don't have state income tax. But where I found that it sounded like to me that he contradicted himself in talking about this is to help Arkansas become competitive, because he brought up the fact that Louisiana, Alabama, and Georgia already have legislation in the works to eliminate state income tax on all NIL payments, not just from the university, but any NIL payment. They're going to legislate that any NIL payment is exempt from state income tax. Okay,
but do those states have like regular state income?
Yes, those states do, but they're working according to what he said on the radio the other morning. Unless I just completely misunderstood it.
He contradicted himself so many times.
Yeah, because okay, so how are we going to be competitive by eliminating it only on university paid NIL payments if these other states are going a step further and exempting any and all NIL payments from state income tax? We're not going to be competitive. We're still going to be behind. So I didn't quite understand the motive there.
It goes back to my original point. We can do all we can and all we want to do for NIL. But if you can't recruit, and I mean bringing in 4 and 5 star recruits,
right,
and not, picking JUCO players out of the portal, it's not going to make a difference. In my opinion, it's not going to make a difference. Now,
I'm going
to tell you now, I've talked to a couple of fans, and present company included, 3 of us. I think apathy has really set in with this football team.
Yeah. And the timing on this bill could not be worse in regards to how it's going to affect the fans and the football program.
Look, man, you want to talk about timing? From the start of the 2024-2025 season, from the schedule dropping right after the Missouri game, which is,
yeah,
I want to know what dumbass did that and just slap them.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you guys. I'm sorry, I'm full throttle tonight. I'm taking the gloves off, so this may not make radio on Sunday.
Well, and I was listening to this morning. I was listening to a show, the one that everybody knows. I was listening to it on my way to work, and Chuck brought up a good point. Or no, I'm sorry, it was Bo that brought up the point of doesn't think he's ever seen a situation where there has been more of a disconnect between the fans and the team that they allegedly support. And a lot of it is stemmed from the passing of this bill and it being signed into law, that now on top of everything else that these athletes are getting, on top of the fact that they're making more money than some of us are ever going to make in our lives at 18 years old for playing a game. And let's face it, that's what it is. They're playing a game.
They are. But again, when you've got as much, and I'll give credit where credit's due. Is when you have as much credit, when you've got as much talent on this team, and you're depending, and I said this during the regular season, and you're depending on Louisiana Tech to get to a bowl game.
Yeah,
something's wrong.
We haven't even gotten into that yet, because if you've taken a look at the schedule that's coming up for 2025,
we're not even.
Find me 6 wins.
Oh hell,
because I don't see it.
Hell, somebody tried to tell me the other day 8 wins. Like
no,
where?
There's no way.
Notre Dame's going to run us out of our own damn stadium.
I'm telling you, you better watch that September 6th game. I'm just telling you.
You're just saying that because
I'm just telling you.
And so it begins.
I'm just saying.
Hey, Matt, you listening to this?
Sounds like MC is officially on the clock with the.
G-Mad coming in with the dinger to right field. Look at that.
I'm just saying this
I
is
sat on the curveball and like a Nate Thompson coach.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was good, dude. That was good.
Sorry, that was a pot shot. Didn't mean to slip out.
That's what we do. That's what we do. And like I said, when it gets closer to football, right around the SEC media days in July, we'll have a schedule breakdown.
Jonathan Parker's with me. He says find 3 wins.
Oh, we hit 3 wins. I guarantee you, Sam Pittman will get a contract extension.
Here's going to be the biggest thing when it comes to the football season. Is Sam Pittman going to be able to win a 1-score game? That's the biggest. I got a note section in my phone with every single 1-score game that Arkansas has won and lost. A lot of the 1-score games that we've won are against teams you wouldn't like to see you have a 1-score game against.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Back in, and I'll go back as far as Houston Nutt because we won't go further than that. But back in Houston, in the Houston Nutt era, Arkansas would do the most Arkansas thing ever and lose to a team they were supposed to blow out and beat the hell out of a team they were supposed to get blown out by.
That was the knock on him.
All right, Sam. It looks like Sam and my kid are going head to head for comment of the night. 3 wins and Pittman gets his jersey retired. We ought to have a poll because that was pretty good too. But again, I keep hammering this home. Okay, you can change the laws to NIL all you want to.
Yeah.
But if you keep pulling JUCO players out of the freaking portal, what good's it do?
Or you pull your portal players. Go ahead, Z.
Oh, I think there's a reason why they keep on going for JUCO players because they are older players. And if you remember with the Diego Pavia rule, all the JUCO years that they were eligible, they don't count anymore. So you get a 20-year-old freshman that's been in JUCO for 2 years. That's big.
Yeah, that changes the game. All right, I'm going to throw down the gauntlet here, MC, and I may end up, eating more crow than I'm willing to admit. Jonathan Parker says, I don't believe Sam makes it past the 5th game. Mark the tape. 1, 2,
3, 4. So that 5th game is a Notre Dame game.
Okay, so what are the first 5 games? Alabama, A&M.
Okay, well, hang on. If we're going to do this, let me just do this. Let me just put this up because I'm looking at it on another tab, so there's no point in me being selfish. Let's just put it up where everybody can see it.
All right.
So we'll take the banners out. Here's your first 5 games. Alabama, A&M. That's in Fayetteville.
That's a win.
Arkansas State in Little Rock. Toss up. I say toss up.
That one could go either way.
Arkansas State's going to make it interesting for the first half.
Okay. All right. So then after that, you go down to Oxford to play my guy Lane.
Luke has Jalen Braxton and Kudus.
And you play the Mississippi Razorback Rebels.
Yep.
And then
We're
you
gonna
come back the following week after going to Oxford, and you turn around and you go play in the litter box over at Memphis and play Tiger High.
That's a win. Just because I know Bum's watching.
I don't think we're gonna
toss
lose
up
them.
at best.
We're gonna get beat, but I'm just saying we're gonna win because Bum's watching.
And then game number 5, historical day, will be a rowdy crowd, no matter what. But let's not forget the fact that there are a lot of Catholics in the state of Arkansas, and when Notre Dame comes to Razorback Stadium on Saturday, September 27th, there will be a lot of Notre Dame fans in the crowd.
Also be the introduction to the world to Kylie Ray Madden. You've heard it.
Attaboy.
Oh, well, there you go. How about that? Maybe she can bring a little magic and
So I don't
pull the upset.
I don't have a lot of faith in Notre Dame. They lost to Navy last year. Or they didn't lose.
Northern Illinois too, wasn't it? Didn't they?
Yeah.
Northern Illinois.
I don't have a lot of faith in Notre Dame at all.
But they
if
also
you remember
they're also a playoff team.
If you also remember the entire who did they play in the playoffs? They had like the easiest road, didn't they? They had Georgia in the second round, which Georgia wasn't Georgia because they had Carson Beck instead of Stetson Bennett. Carson go to Miami.
And got dumped.
Yeah, got dumped and had his dirty laundry aired out across the Miami-Dade County. So I don't really have a whole lot invested in Notre Dame. I just it's hard for me to trust them whenever they don't play a whole schedule. They play 3 games a year, and that's about it.
Yep. So here's my challenge. If Sam Pittman gets let go by game 5 and JP is right, I will do one of 2 things. I will send him a shirt of his choosing, or he can sit in my spot for one show.
Oh.
His pick.
Okay.
His pick. I'll leave it up to
sit
him.
in your spot.
You've sat in my spot for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Almost.
I am seriously considering. You remember the bet that Sam Jones and I had if Duke would have won it all?
Yeah.
With the Popeyes biscuit drowned in Nutella, and I had to drink it, or I had to eat it with no drink for a chaser.
Yeah.
I'm toying with the idea of bringing that back and attaching a number of wins to it for the football team.
I don't know what would be a bigger choker, an Arkansas team or that Popeyes biscuit with Nutella.
How about we make that bet between the 2 of us and do it live on air?
Where are we setting the bar? Because I mean, we can't make it too easy, but we can't set it at like 11 wins.
No.
Okay, I'm going to say Arkansas is going to be a bowl team.
Let's concede to our EP and see what he says.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I will say that Arkansas will be bowl eligible for another year, but that's going to be it. I don't think they're going to I say they're bowl eligible. Y'all say they're not. How about that?
Oh, my God.
I'll do the Popeyes Nutella.
We have a new leader in the clubhouse for comment of the night.
Wait.
I can't read that.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to read it to you. Carolyn just went Charlie Welch with this comment. Matter of fact, this might be Jalen Battles deep into the night. That's how good this comment is. So Carolyn comes in and says, honestly think Sam P has footage of Hunter Yurachek at a Diddy party. He will die as our coach. LOL. So yeah, that is a Jalen Battles deep into the night at Stillwater.
All right. So JP, lay your terms. You're right. Well, lay your terms out because you've changed it like 3 times. So if they make a bowl game, so lay your terms out. Let's hear it. But MC and I will make a bet about it with biscuit, Popeye's biscuit covered in Nutella.
I'm going to say. So here's my suggestion.
I'll take bowl eligibility, and if Arkansas becomes bowl eligible, I make the 2 of you do it because y'all seem pretty negative Nancy over there. I just think I know that everybody's kind of. Here's the thing. We're going to talk football. Let's talk football. I think that this team is actually like too quiet right now. There's only one.
I give him that.
There's been one comment come out of the out of spring football, and it was by a transfer linebacker. and it was basically saying they're trying to clear house of everybody that's not wanting to win. I can't remember who said it, but it was basically if you're not wanting to win, don't come here type of comment.
Well, and I can get on board with that. If that's what's happening, then kudos, and I'll get on board with that.
Yeah. But will it translate on the field?
That's where I was headed next. Yeah.
Okay.
You can talk a good game, but you got to walk the walk.
Who was the last one that was talking the talk but couldn't walk the walk to 4-20? Although he did have a really good quote that I really like. So I
Are we talking about CM?
Yeah, and not the punk kind.
Oh my goodness. That dude could sell water to a fisherman. Let me tell you.
Hey, now we got more fans coming in. Carolyn says, if they don't make a bowl, I will appear live. Mark the tape. And JP.
So here's my suggestion for the biscuit bet.
Okay. JP, you listening?
8 regular season wins.
Where am they?
If they win 8, we eat the biscuit.
Are we talking about baseball or football at this point?
We're talking about football.
We're talking about football. What's up, Dylan?
Baseball's not going. Baseball's going to get beat out in their own regional again. We don't have to worry about that.
Now that was a negative Nancy because I'm over here saying that
if some of these sunshine pumpers out there believe this team can win 8. All the Storms have made it here. I don't know if you can hear that thunder in the background.
From here.
Yeah. 8 regular season wins. I'll eat the biscuit drowned in Nutella on air.
Okay.
Without my cup, unless I start choking, and then I've got to, then I'll have to do something. But if they're supposed to be as good as what everybody, some of the sunshine pumpers think they're going to be, then 8 ought to be a shoe. It ought to be a shoe in. That means you got to win 5 conference games because you're not going 4-0 in non-conference.
JP says not a chance. What are you talking about?
That's why I'm setting it there, because I'm feeling safe now.
I said bowl eligible. Come on now.
Bowl eligible is not out of the realm of possibility. Miracles happen every day. I mean, they should be able to backdoor their way to 6 if they have improved any at all from last year.
So 7's the magic number then.
So 7 is your magic number. So what? Okay.
Yeah.
So
back to the Liberty Bowl. Woohoo!
Oh God.
Hey, we get a wide receiver like Desmond James. He'll show his what, and then scoot somewhere else.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break. This is gonna be a 30-second one.
Yeah, I got that fixed now.
Yeah, we're gonna take a quick break real quick and come back and keep going on a late night edition of Inside the Hawg Pen. Back right after this.
Attention Razorback fans and local businesses. Are you ready to reach the most passionate Arkansas sports fans out there? Introducing Inside the Hawg Pen, not your normal Razorback talk show. We're fans first and don't try to hide it. No agendas, no propaganda. At Inside the Hawg Pen, we call it like we see it. And now we're looking for sponsors to join the team. This is your chance to put your brand in front of thousands of loyal Razorback fans who live and breathe Arkansas sports. From small businesses to major brands, we have sponsorship packages tailored just for you. So let's grow together and make Inside the Hawg Pen bigger and better. Don't miss out. Call 501-416-4331 or email us today at insidethehogpen@gmail.com and become a proud sponsor of Inside the Hawg Pen.
All right, welcome back to Inside the Hawg Pen. Oh, looks like technology decided to.
Okay, right before we went to break, Carolyn threw something out. Hang on here. Baseball will not lose in the regional, period.
Is there a Nutella bet on that one, Carolyn?
I'm not going to do Nutella. I will do a bet, but I'm not going to do a Nutella.
I'll tell you what, since you're taking football, I'll take baseball. If baseball makes it to the regional and makes it
out of the regional and gets to the regional
and goes to the supers, live on air, I will do the biscuit with Nutella with no drink.
I think that's a really good bet for you, Zach, because I'll give you the reasons why.
You're a jackass.
There's only been one time in the last decade that we haven't made it out of the regional. And you want to know
the last 2 seasons in a row.
Yeah.
we didn't make it out of the regional last. Oh yeah.
No, we didn't.
No, we lost to freaking SEMO.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I blame
SEMO.
TCU. That's all I.
There it
gotta
is.
say.
There it is. I knew that was coming. Tighten that tinfoil cap.
Yeah.
But no, I'll take that bet. Now with JP, I'm still confused on what his is. He's gonna have to type that out for me. With JP, if Sam is gone after 5 games, he has 2 options. He gets a free shirt from me of a design of his choice, or he gets to sit in on a show live in my spot. But I will let him choose. But I have got to talk to y'all about the NFL draft because, good God. I don't have a horse in this race. Maybe that was a wrong sentence.
neither did Shadur.
But
Hey man, if you don't want to change the culture, don't get him. Well,
hey, there we go. I'll sweeten the pot, JP. If you pick the shirt, my kid will design it.
There we go.
So there you go. But look, here's the thing. All right. I'm gonna say this. And this is gonna be kind of a paraphrase, and this is gonna be one of those borderline comments that MC may have to edit out.
Okay, I'm getting ready to mark the tape.
In a league where 90%, I heard this about race the other day, and this is the only thing I'm gonna say about it because this is a big deal. Okay, to say that the NFL is racist because these teams are not picking Shedeur Sanders is the most asinine thing I have ever heard.
That bucket won't hold water.
That bucket's he's not good. It's not dude. He tanked in the interviews and in the draft interviews and stuff. Okay. He's not good. He's not good. The only reason he was good was Travis Hunter. Don't shut up, Zach.
Well, and from everything I've read about why he slid as far as he didn't even try to prepare for the interviews at all. The Giants were very high on him, and Coach Dabble, they had given him some information to prepare on for the interview, and he blew it off. And Coach Dabble called him out on it, and so the Giants mark him off the list and end up with Jackson Dart.
I mean, anything's better than Daniel Jones.
I just, I did not see there's 2 things that happened in this draft that I did not see coming. One was Isaac TeSlaa being the first Razorback taken. The other thing that I did not see coming was Andrew Armstrong not getting drafted at all.
Okay. Shedeur Sanders, Andrew Armstrong. I'm taking, and this is not a homer thing. Andrew Armstrong is the biggest whiskey.
He's the leading receiver in the SEC last year.
Yeah, whiskey tango foxtrot moment of the draft.
Yeah, I didn't understand that one either. I don't follow the draft very closely. I usually keep up with where the Arkansas guys go and a few SEC guys that I'm curious about to see where they're going to end up. I will say Isaac TeSlaa has got to be living a dream right now because not only did he get drafted as the first Razorback taken, but he got drafted by his favorite team. So kudos to him. Kudos to Landon Jackson for getting picked up.
Hey, now real quick, dude, Landon Jackson, his reaction to getting drafted.
Oh man. Yeah.
Right here, dude.
Yeah. That was cool to watch.
That's a kid that's living his dream right now.
Yeah. That was cool to watch. I mean, to see him be so emotional and see all the hard work pay off. Kudos to that kid. I hope he goes to Buffalo and just absolutely kills it.
But again, that Shedeur Sanders is Cleveland right where he needs to be. Okay, that had a little bit of connotation in it that I didn't mean.
Oh man, I could say something right now, but I'm not going to. So we'll move on.
Don't do it.
To next, nope. Next topic. I'll tell you guys off the air, but I'm not saying this one. No,
don't do it. So, all right. Before we go, I have one very, very, very special shout out. I have waited a very long time to do this live on my show. Happy birthday, Mom.
Oh, there we go. How about that?
No, her birthday is this weekend, so I wanted to give her a shout out. Happy birthday, Mom. We won't divulge anything else. Just happy birthday. I promise.
She 30 again?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But final thoughts as we get out of here. And he graced us with his presence at the buzzer.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Man, I don't know. I don't even know what to say at this point.
What else can you say?
Hey, you made it home, man. You made it home in one piece, and you get to go back and do it all again tomorrow.
250 miles later. You know what I'm saying?
It sucks being an adult, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Walk into the door. My mother-in-law is here, too. And I was like, hey, I go do my other job now. She's like, oh, I feel sorry for you. My wife looks at me and says, don't.
That's great. JP says the NFL is the one league that you can do the most stupidest stuff, and if you have the it factor, they will spend a lot of money on you. Yeah,
I mean,
Hey,
Ray Lewis killed a guy, so you know.
I know we didn't have this in the show notes, but do y'all want to talk about the Boogie Ellis issue? Is he a first rounder?
Boogie Ellis.
Boogie Ellis. Oh, geez. I can't even remember his last name.
Who the hell is Boogie Ellis? You talking about Boogie Flan?
Boogie Flan. Who is Boogie Ellis?
How soon did we forget Boogie Ellis? Who's Boogie Ellis?
Somebody is Boogie Ellis. Hold on. Who is
Look,
that?
I'm the one that can't speak. All right. Y'all are
Guess who
supposed
he play? Guess what school he's at?
What?
USC.
Auburn. USC. Oh,
you're
yeah.
talking about Chad Baker Mazzara.
Yeah.
You're talking about Boogie Flan. You're talking about Chad Baker Mazzara.
No, I'm talking about Boogie Flan. He's put himself into the draft, and me and MC were kind of talking about it. You know, he didn't have a lot of production going into the draft. He at the start of the year kind of carried the team.
Right.
At the end of the year, he was kind of like more of an accent piece than he was a dynamic threat. And so it brought up the point with me and MC. We were going to talk about it, but, you know, we kind of went long with Lanzilli last week. So we were talking about, is Boogie Flan a first-round pick? I don't think he's a lottery pick, which is first 10 picks.
Right.
But the question being, is he a first-rounder?
I think he needs to go have a good combine, a good NBA combine to solidify, because some of the projections I've seen still have him mid to late first round.
MC, you're lagging real bad.
I think he could play his way up to not lottery, but just outside the lottery, maybe 13 to 17 range if he has a good combine.
Yeah.
Yeah, things are getting kind of crazy here with the weather, so that's why my Wi-Fi is messing up.
Yeah, have we heard anything as far as Aduthiero?
He posted on Instagram yesterday or the day before just a simple picture of him at midcourt during a game, and the caption says "Woo Pig Suey." That's it.
Okay, so both of all right. Let me hold on. Wait a minute. Both of them have maintained their eligibility, correct?
Mm-hmm. And we still have a bunch of roster spots open at the current moment.
Boogie is
Carter's also in the draft.
Boogie's not technically in the portal because he has a no contact tag.
Right.
Okay. That tells me straight off the bat, if he doesn't have a good combine, guess what? He's coming back to Arkansas.
Yeah. And that's kind of what we've had in the past. I can't put the name down in my head, but it was one of the earlier Must teams. We had a couple of players test out the draft, and we had obviously Moses Moody left, but then we had
Jalen Williams do that before?
That's what I was thinking, but I didn't want to throw that name out there and not be right.
I was thinking he dipped his toes in the water and then decided to come back for one more year, and then ended up going after, I guess he was at Arkansas 2 years before he went pro. And man, what a career he's developed into at Oklahoma City.
And I'm glad he's at OKC. So it's for Arkansas fans to go see him.
Well, he and Isaiah Joe both.
I forgot about
they're both 3 hours from their home. And that's the craziest part is I have a cousin who grew up with Jalen Williams and went to Northside with him and has nothing but good things to say about him.
And if you guys are Travelers fans, Caleb Cali and Matt Cronin are Arkansas Travelers.
Cronin, yes, the fire-breathing dragon. Yeah.
Callie, he's starting at third base right now. He didn't have a good game when I went to go see him, but hey, I mean, it happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Well,
baseball.
and I don't know if he's still there or not, but last year Caden Wallace was playing for the Naturals.
He still is.
He's still there.
They also got Jack Caglione.
Yes,
from Florida.
From Florida.
Mm-hmm. There was another team. Me and Zach went to go see them. It was a Florida catcher.
Oh yes.
What was his name?
Oh my God. Because you kept busting him out.
I was busting his balls the entire time. He then hit a home run that I still don't think has landed.
Yeah.
And all I just remember yelling out was, "Hey, that ball had a family."
Yeah, he did say that.
That's not all I can say.
He did say that. JP says if Boogie comes back to college, it won't be at Arkansas, but I think he goes in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
He may.
I don't think he goes to I think if he comes back, he's not going. I don't think he's going anywhere but Arkansas.
Here's the
thing about Cal players.
Here's my thing though. All right, and MC and I think MC and I talked about this. If Boogie comes back, where's the playing time going to come from? With the talent that comes in, with the talent that's coming in.
But who better to corral all these egos and mesh them into what they need to be than who we have at the helm right now. Cal's used to dealing with
Calipari.
Yes. Yeah.
And I will say this, and I will say it before MC. I'm already drinking the Kool-Aid.
Oh, I never stopped, man. I never stopped.
I didn't.
Started tasting a little bit like alcohol at the start of the year. Let's be honest here.
It was a little bitter. It had a run where it was a little bitter there.
Stuff,
but yeah. So
you're gonna have to edit that one out. Oops.
But it got better. It got better as the season went along. It's kind of like, you pull the moonshine too early, it's not going to taste good. You got to let it do its thing.
Right. But I mean, again, I'm going to go ahead and say my too early prediction, Final Four.
Could be. We got to see how the rest of this roster shapes up. If you get
as we're wrapping up here, think about it though, MC.
Yeah.
You made the Sweet 16 when everybody, including you and me, had them dead to rights.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes off and gets his team to the Sweet 16. Look out.
Gave us one of the best quotes ever in "They put us in the coffin, they just forgot the nails."
Yes.
We put Texas Tech in the coffin, but we forgot the nails too, though.
Well, and then they put Florida in the coffin and forgot the nails. So, it all evens out.
All right. Final thoughts as we get out of here tonight, because we've gone about 20 minutes over.
Baseball is you can't get swept by Texas. Obviously, to take the series would be great. It would bring them out of the dip, as Carolyn calls it. But I think you get one at most this weekend.
You mad?
Bri Ellis is not of this world. We are not worthy. She is. Yes, we are not worthy.
That was top 10, by the way, for me.
What is it the kids say? Slay, queen, slay. Yes, she is slaying.
Oh yeah.
She's been murdering a lot of baseballs. I'll put it.
She got a golden ticket, which is a very rare thing to go play at a professional level. I didn't know there was a professional softball league.
I'm going to sound very ignorant of this because I very much am if we continue talking about it. That's all I got to say about it.
But that's all I know. So, but Bri Ellis will go down in the history books as one of, if not the GOAT of Arkansas softball.
Man, she's getting the Barry Bonds treatment. I think she has to be
without the steroids.
GOAT. Well, yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, and on that note,
I'm talking about Barry Bonds allegedly.
And on that note,
y'all are killing me with how much editing I got to do on this episode.
Hey, it's my first episode back in almost a month. I mean, I had some stuff I had to get off my chest. But I appreciate everybody tuning in. We had a great audience this evening, and I cannot be more happy to be back in the pen, back home, back where I belong, because the two of you tried to burn the damn house down. No, I'm kidding. Appreciate
I built it back up at least.
Well, that's debatable. No. Got a big announcement though, and I'm gonna use this, and we'll talk more about it as the new season comes up in August. But can officially say that DMAD is our the newest member of our team. He is now going to be on camera more and having a bigger role. He's actually earned it. So I will. You've earned it. You've earned it. You've earned it.
Holy cow!
You've earned it. You've earned it. So
we're gonna clip that for sure.
Oh God, that's gonna go in the new intro. I guarantee you.
Yes,
I guarantee you. But we've got a lot of things in store coming up. So y'all stay tuned. Big things coming down the pipe from Inside the Hawg Pen. So if you're not subscribed, if you're not following, if you haven't liked our page, do it. What are you doing? What are you doing? Just like it. It's fine. Just click the little like button. So, other than that, I'm glad to be back. We will be back here next week. I'm going to guess on a Wednesday, unless we know.
Well, yeah, to be probably. I don't know. You know what? We'll use that to say this. Stay tuned to our social media pages to find out if we're going to be on Wednesday or Thursday of next week.
There you go. There you go.
Right now, LSU is slated for a Friday through Saturday.
So, all right, that's going to do it for us on this episode of Inside the Hawg Pen. For Marcus MC Carlton, Dylan D-Mad Mad, and I'm Razorback Zach. Thank you all for joining us on this Wednesday night. Everybody stay safe and have a great rest of the week. Don't forget, Friday morning, 10 a.m., 101.1 FM, The Answer. You get to join me once again, talk Razorback sports. Until next time, so long, everybody.
Thanks for watching this episode of Inside the Hawg Pen. Listen anytime on your favorite podcast provider, and be sure to follow us on all our social network channels.